as far as reaching out or finding the right people to guide you through this growth,
Yeah.
where did you go to after you initially reached out to your dad, and then you're like, okay, now I want to grow to the next level?
Yeah.
Where were those next mentors coming from?
For me, they came from my client base first. I mean, I ended up making really good friends with some of my customers who ended up really, taking on a mentor role, whether it was officially or unofficially. I had one guy, I think I talk about in the book, Mike Hovel, just amazing. Every time we'd talk about what the software I was building for his company, but we only talked about that after he spent half an hour asking me about my business and advising me. it was the
Awesome.
cool. It was so awesome. I mean, he's such a great guy. I still occasionally talk to Mike. We don't work together anymore because I don't work in his industry anymore, but we stayed friends. I was in the Corps of Cadets at Texas A&M, which is an ROTC military college inside of a major university. And so my first 8 clients all came from the Corps, ex cadets, people who'd been in the Corps who were, alumni of A&M, who were just taking a chance on me. And a few of those, Don Crawford, Mike Hovel, ended up being mentors to me for the rest of my life. Still are. I still talk to them, and not as much anymore because, you have early stage mentors that help you learn the basics. And then you have later stage mentors. Like now I'm in YPO. Once you get to a certain size company, you're eligible to be an EO, which is generally like $1 million a year in revenue or higher. So I qualified for EO a long time ago. So I joined EO like 7 or 8 years ago when I found out about it. And in Entrepreneurs Organization, YPO is the granddaddy CEO organization out there that's been around for over 100 years. But you got to be a pretty good sized company to be in there. So I joined EO and was mentored by a bunch of my peers in my forums. And then once I got to a good size, I moved up to YPO and have, joined some more formal mentoring relationship programs they have there. They have these things called micro forums, and they have, so they have a formal structure for getting mentored by your peers and by others. And, you're always trying to get mentored by someone who's been at your level and is at the next level because there's different challenges to scaling. And, you also have different industries. Like one of my really, really great mentors as well, a customer, Skip Brechtel. I mean, just an amazing guy. And he mentors a bunch of people because I know quite a few folks who have been mentored by Skip, and he just knows everything about insurance. And he taught me everything that I could possibly want to know about, that he knew about insurance. He just constantly teaching and mentoring. He also taught me most of what I know about account management, because it's actually there's a fine art to managing accounts, especially managing large accounts. And so, there's all of those folks, and, we could spend here, do a half hour just talking about mentors and what they taught me. But a lot of mine came from my client base, and really ended up developing really special relationships with, because they end up guiding you and advising you through whatever phase of the business you're in. And I think peer groups are really important, which is why I joined EO and now YPO.
I love that. Is this where you typically go to stay on top of new trends, new ideas, new things to test out?
Not in, well, certainly, yes. When you're coming up with a new product idea, if you have industry mentors that are friends of yours in the industry you're selling in, you'd be foolish to not call them and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about building this. What do you think?" And certainly my like for the latest evolution of our company, because for a long time we had 2 industries we worked in: construction and insurance. And I developed some really great friendships with people who mentored me and taught me a lot about construction and bidding and estimating. We sold that company almost 5 years ago. So for the last 5 years, we've pivoted the entire organization. I've got 280 employees right now, and all 280 are focused on insurance. So I had to really, expand my network in insurance and really build out those connections and relationships, and then work with them to get to understand the problems that exist in the business. And then when I have an idea about a product, I call them and say, "Hey, what do you think about this? Is this really a big issue? Or was this a big issue for you?" And then, we've actually been hiring advisors. It turns out retired insurance professionals are an incredible source of knowledge. And so we've got 2 right now that are, we're very successful executives in insurance, and they work for us on a contract basis because they don't want to work full time. They are officially retired. They're at home. They work from home, and we tap into that as well, just to get to take advantage of the 30 to 35 years of industry knowledge they have, and asking them, hey, is this really possible? Because the worst thing you can do in the software business is build the wrong code. That's
that's it. That's it. So,
like, that's way worse than building buggy code, because buggy code can be fixed. The wrong code has to be thrown away, so it's really, and I've been 22 years building software in this company, and I've been writing code since I was like 11. So I've built a lot of the wrong code. And so that's something that we really tap into our mentors, advisors, our networks is, hey, should we even be building this? Is this really a big problem? Or is this market underserved? Those are really important questions that have to be asked to people that you can trust, who aren't just going to tell you what you want to hear. Because most people, when you ask those kind of questions, they know the answer you want, and they'll say, oh yeah, I would totally buy that. And they're really just trying to make you feel good.